these. So let's look at some of these operator things we can do. So I have my int x, right? And let's add an int y here. And I had the user cin x and y. Remember, we could do this. That's called chaining. I might want to see out, enter into values separated by a space, something like that, to give the user an idea of what to do. Okay, and then we can see out, we can use an operator to see out x divided by y. Okay, and let's do that real quickly, and then I'll see in again x, just that's our pausing of the program. Remember, we should technically do this too, because it's an integer main, so we should return an integer, and I'm going to hit play. It says the project's out of date. Would you like to build it? I'm going to hit yes, and it's slowly building it. And pretty soon we should see a black screen, and it should say enter two values separated by a space. So I'm going to enter 5 and 4 and hit enter, and it's going to come back with 1. As in 5 divided by 4 equals 1. Okay, and then it's waiting for me to input another value. This cin paused the program. So we know that's not true, right? 5 divided by 4 does not equal 1. And the reason it equals 1 is because we did an integer division, and so the output's going to be an integer. So if we want to cast this to something so that it gives us a value that actually makes sense, a decimal value in this case, we would cast it to a double. And the way we do that is we put this parentheses double, and that casts this x to a double, and that means our output would be a double. And if we do this again now, we should see a more saner answer. So it's going to build, and we come here, and it says enter two values separated by space, 5 and 4, and I enter, and it equals 1.25, which makes a lot more sense. And then I have to enter another value because we paused it using the cin. All right, so that's basically what happens when we need to cast. Another thing you might run into is this order of operations. So if we do something like this, which operation happens first, which operation happens second? And if you remember from class, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, what you'll realize is that it follows PEMDAS, which is the order of operations in math. So we're going to do the division first, and then we'll do this addition with a double. Okay, so if you actually do this division first, if y equals 4, 5 divided by 4, since they're both integers, it'll give us an integer, and then adding this double is not going to change the fact that this was already an integer value. So let's try that, and you'll see what I mean. So 5 divided by 4, if y equals 4, 5 divided by 4 will equal 1, and we'll add x to it. So we'll do the same kind of values. We'll put 5 in for x. So let me do this. Enter two values. We'll put 5 in for x and 4 in for y. All right. And so 5 divided by 4 equals 1 because it's an integer division. Neither of these are casted. And x is equal to 5.0, for example. So 5.0 plus 1 will equal 6, which we know is incorrect. So let's try it real quickly, and we get the answer 6. Okay? And so again, if we wanted to make sure this was correct, we would do some sort of casting, maybe cast one of these things to a double. Or you could say 5.0, for example, and that's implicitly a double. And if we build it one more time, we should get a sane answer for this, which is 1.25 plus 5, right, which will be 6.25 or something like that. Yep, 6.25. Okay,